Let's install Android Studio. Jump onto Google and search for Android Studio. And you'll want to click either the first or second. I'm going to go straight to the second, and it will tell me I can download Studio for Mac. It should tell you, if you're on Windows, that you can download Studio for Windows, or if you're on Linux, you can download it for that. So go ahead, click download, agree to everything, and then let it download. Once it's downloaded, open the file, which will either be an exe on Windows or a DMG on Mac, and then just drag Android Studio to Applications or double-click to install on Windows. Now there are a few more setup things you have to go through once you've done that, so I'm just going to remove those items. And if you go back to where you downloaded Android Studio from, they tell you the extra steps you need to take. So down here it says Android Studio is now ready and loaded with the developer tools, but there's still a couple packages you should add to make your Android SDK complete. So click that link and then have a look at what they recommend. The first thing is to get the latest SDK tools, and I'll show you where you get that. So if we open up Android Studio, once we've installed it, I have it here, and then I'm just going to open up one of my previous projects. Now, of course, you don't have to already have a project to open it, but the reason I opened it is to get access to this menu at the top. So you can just create a dummy project in the previous screen where it says Start a new Android Studio project. Then we have to go to Tools, and down here to Android, and then we need to go to SDK Manager. And now we have a whole bunch of preferences that we need to change in here. Primary of which are these items, which is Android 2 up to Android 6. So if we create an application and we want to run it on one of these platforms that's installed either on a phone or on a simulator, we need to download this section. So if we go here to Android 5.01 and it says not installed, we won't be able to compile our app for that specific system. However, if we compile it for 5.1.1, we can, because this is installed on my laptop. And once you compile it for 5.1.1, you can also then run it on lower versions up to whatever you've specified. So this is only to compile your app. And then what I like to do is use the standalone SDK manager. So click the link at the bottom and it will start it up for you. And it's actually opened this on my other screen, so I'll just drag it down. And here we have it, our manager. And it just needs to update itself, know what's going on. But here, it's much easier to install stuff. So if I just click the Android 6, it installs everything I need. So you will have to install the relative Android platform for the device you want to test on and compile for. I've got 5.1.1 here and a couple of other extras. If we scroll down to extras, we also need to click on the Android support library, the support repository, these top two here, which are actually broken, but they should be fine for you, the Google repository, the Google Play services, and various other things. Also, if you have the HAXM available, go ahead and install that because it allows your simulator to run a lot faster. Once you've selected those items, just click Install 3 packages and wait for that to finish, and you're done with the SDK. We need one more thing, and that's the simulator. So inside your open app or your dummy app, go to the top menu and go to Run, Debug App, and it will load your device chooser. So if you have something plugged in and installed, the driver installed for your Android device, it'll show up here, or it'll show any emulators that are running. So down here where it says Launch Emulator, under Android Virtual Device, you will have nothing. Click the three icons, the three dots next to it, and this allows you to install a virtual device. So if I click Create a Virtual Device, I can choose whatever I like. So let's choose old school 3.7 inch, and let's click Next, and then we can choose x86 64. It's a good idea to choose this because these run faster than the V7As on your computer, and they tell you so over here in the recommendation. So I'm just going to click Next. It'll ask you for a name. It probably doesn't like that. there. It'll ask you for some other details. Da-di-da-di-da. Everything seems okay. When you click finish, it's going to save it and it will appear in this list. So I have a Nexus 5 and this Nexus 1. And that's all there is to setting up the simulator. Now you have to ensure, if I just edit this, that the operating system is actually one of the SDKs that you have, or you'll get lots of errors and it won't compile. So API level 22 is here. And if I just close all of this and I come back to my Tools, Android SDK Manager, and it tells me, yes, I have 22 installed. So I'm absolutely fine, I'm good to go, and that concludes setting up Android Studio and the simulator.